A committee on Capitol Security met again today to discuss changes as threats against elected officials continues to rise. The committee has now met 3 times since the lawmaker shootings in June. Danny Spiewak joins us now live from the Capitol with more on that. Danny?
Well, we learned today that threats against state elected officials and commissioners at the state level have increased from 19 to 50 year to year. So that's more than double an increase from 2024 to 2025. That has led the Minnesota Department of Public Safety to take certain action to stop those threats, and they're also doing an ongoing assessment of security at the Capitol. After the lawmaker shootings in June and a breach of the Capitol in July, security on the complex has been under the microscope.
As we continue to try to improve our aspects and our actions around here at the state Capitol.
Now, State Patrol Lieutenant Colonel Jeremy Geiger reports that threats against state elected officials and commissioners have jumped from 19 in 2024 to 50 so far in 2025. In response, the agency will promote a sworn officer later this year to serve as a threat investigator, and has continued to add troopers to the Capitol grounds, with 20 more officers coming on board later this year.
Functioning as Capitol security officers and our eyes and ears that are out there.
The House Sergeant at Arms office, which is responsible for protecting lawmakers and staff, is also hiring a security assistant to respond to the increase in threats.
So that's going to be a big step for us.
Meanwhile, the state hired former St. Paul Police Chief Todd Axtell's consulting group to assess security at 4 buildings on the Capitol complex. When that review is finished, Axtell's group will issue recommendations to the advisory committee.
From the outset, we understood this project would be highly visible, detailed, and certainly difficult.
Currently, Minnesota is one of just a handful of states that allows concealed carry in the Capitol building and doesn't screen for weapons. Any changes around screenings or metal detectors would require funding from the legislature.
Our role is to provide a clear, evidence-based recommendations that allow leadership to make informed and balanced decisions.
Now, Axtell said his consulting group is almost finished with the report on the Capitol building itself. Then it will have 3 more individual reports on 3 other buildings that are nearby here on the complex. Back to you.
Well, Danny, I know you kind of mentioned the updates on security like metal detectors, but do we have anything more on that, a timeline or anything?
Well, those conversations are really still ongoing. The Department of Public Safety has been working with lawmakers on that. Of course, there's going to be a lot of different views, pros and cons that are presented on that discussion. But as I mentioned, Minnesota, one of just a few states, a handful of states, that doesn't have any type of screening at the entrance.
All right. Thank you, Danny.